Hey, good morning. Welcome to this creative space where we can work together to clear off all of our works in progress. And we're working with small amounts of time on concentrating on one project that's really old to try to clear it off. So I just wanted to try to show you a little bit about the power of working even in small amounts of time. So we've been doing 20 minutes a day, and I admit most of the 5 days that I've done it so far, I have done a double 20 minutes. So 20 minutes with you and then continue for 20 minutes afterwards. I added up yesterday and I've done 33 hours and 4 minutes because I did an extra 4 minutes yesterday on this quilt. And it's not really about what I'm making and me showing you what to do, but I just want to show you um, how much progress I've made if I can. It's really difficult to show you this quilt because um, in my old house where I used to live, I had it was an Edwardian house, and so it had really high ceilings. So my design wall went up to the ceiling, and it was 9 feet high, and it was about 8 feet wide. So this quilt is pretty close to those dimensions because I used to just get going and like fill the wall. My kid said to me once, Mom, you gotta get a smaller design wall because I started designing all these big things. But just to give you a sense, there are two sides to the quilt. So there are these improv bits in the middle, and it's surrounded by a lot of pink negative space. And in that pink negative space, when we started, there was straight line quilting above and below the improv, and on the sides was where I got stuck because what had happened is I thought, oh, wouldn't it be cool? These wavy quilting lines, and I won't lie, they were fun to do and they were gorgeous. I loved those lines. However, um, what I had done that originally because I really like the this was an experiment that I did with doing improv half square triangles. So everybody does half square triangles, which are very rigid diagonal lines, and I'm not a very rigid diagonal line kind of person. So I thought, wouldn't I love curves? And I thought, wouldn't it be cool if there was a curvy improv version of half square triangles? So the center part, the main part of this quilt, is improv curvy lines. You can see there. That's my base. The green is my basting stitching. Improv curvy lines. So for the quilting, I thought I would do improv curvy lines as well to mirror that. And as much as I love this quilting, I didn't love the effect that it had because it was so cool on its own. It was taking, instead of supporting and reflecting the center of the quilt, it was taking away from it. It was fighting with it too much. So I decided I needed to rip it out. Now I had gotten to the stage where I had done all the ripping out and I had it all straight line quilting above and below the improv bits in the middle. But what I had on both sides was still all of this. Now, after just 3 hours and 5 days at realistically 40 minutes a day, because once I get started, I don't like to stop. But I now have the whole right side is ripped out. All of that wavy line is ripped out. I'll hold it up so you can see it. And sorry, there's a problem with my phone, so you get a weird aura over there. So I like to just pretend that it's a little angel watching over me. I'm just kidding. I don't. I just made that up. Anyway, yeah. So my whole right side of my quilt, I've now ripped out all of that wavy line stitching, and I have all these straight line stitching all the way down, 9 feet worth, right? So some days when I'm doing this, I could only get in the 20-minute period like 2 lines of all this wavy line quilting. But I've kept going and I've managed in the 40 minutes a day in the last 5 days, I've done all of this, right? So now it's just to move to the left side. Yay. So I think in another week, this quilt will certainly be, I expect to be finished maybe in another week, 7 days, not 5 days, because the left side is wider. Because of course, I don't really like symmetry that much, and so the left side of the quilt the space there is much wider than the right side, but I think there's less of the wavy line quilting. I'm not sure. So anyway, it will take a little bit longer. So I'm saying in about a week, I think all the quilting will be finished and the binding will be finished. And then it will just be the hand quilting, because I always bind before I do the hand quilting. The hand quilting doesn't cause the quilt to shrink so much. So, and if you're going to spend some time working on the hand quilting, then having the binding on keeps it, from getting all messy and disgusting. Anyway, so no big message today. Just that it's miraculous what you can do with a small amount of time. The results really start to pay off. So I'm going to set the timer. I hope you brought your project that you're working on, whatever it is, and you're rocking out with whatever your tunes are. Actually, interestingly enough, I normally love music, and I normally, as soon as the timer goes off, I normally turn the music on in my studio. Like I said, I can't while we're filming because I don't have royalty-free music, but I've actually been enjoying and going a little bit deeper into creative flow more quickly with no music. There are a lot of finches outside in the garden, and I live out in the middle of nowhere. I live in the countryside, surrounded by fields, working farmers' fields. So normally it's very quiet, although occasionally you do hear these massive farm, tractors and things, careering up the lane to get, because I'm right on the edge of the lane, the lanes through the fields. So anyway, but there are a lot of finches out, and I'm really enjoying listening to the finches, and it's really helping me a little bit, calming down and getting into peace. And I won't say much about it, but I had a really difficult morning. I had a bit of a crisis, which I won't tell you about. It's because the specifics are dull, but. And I thought, oh gosh, I need to go away and do some things, and maybe I should just not go live this morning. But actually, I thought I've done what I can for now, and I'm just waiting for some things to happen. So I need to sew. I need to go into creative flow, and sewing is how I do that, because I need to calm myself down, and I need to stay relaxed and focused. Sorry, I forgot to turn off notifications on my iPad. I did it on my phone and forgot to do it on my iPad. Anyway, I need to stay relaxed and focused, because panicking is not going to help solve my little mini crisis. And I need to stay relaxed and focused so I can keep the perspective that, yes, it's a little mini crisis and it sucks at the time, but this too shall pass, and it'll be resolved, and it will all be okay eventually. It'll suck. It's sucking. You see, this is my holy crap. This sucks face. Because, like I said yesterday, learning to get into creative flow and getting in touch with the nonverbal parts of your brain and your body mind sort of system really helps bring calm and peace, but it doesn't mean that you're never going to have shit raining down on you. Let me tell you, I'm in the middle of the most whirling shitstorm, and the Brexit shit show is the least of my issues at the moment, right? I have a personal shit show going on, but being able to get into creative flow helps me so much to keep from panicking and to really deal with the situation that I need to deal with in the best way possible. So watch this space. And on a positive note, by the way, one of the things I'm working on, which is not at all a shit show, is I am working on getting the videos posted for you for my free version of talking you through the what I'm calling the Creative Flow Accelerator. The little exercise that we do. I don't like to call it an exercise because that sounds like tedious and dull, but this is really not. I don't find it. I find it really relaxing and calming. But anyway. I worked on those last night, and I'm going to finish them up today. Sorry, got to turn off the notifications. And I will get those hopefully up for to you tonight. And I'm working on rolling out my new course. So I will hopefully get that rolled out within the next couple of days, and I'll tell you guys all about it. So in the meantime, I'm going to turn off the notifications on my iPad, and then we'll do the meditation, a little exercise, and then we can get to sewing, or making, whatever kind of making you're doing. Sorry. Hold on one sec. Um, let me see how I can turn off my notifications here. And then let's go. I'm really sorry about this. I did it on my phone and I forgot that my iPad doesn't take that from the phone. And so a text comes in and the iPad just goes bonkers. But there we go. Okay. These things are meant to try us. I'm sorry. It seems really unprofessional that I forgot to do that, but this is just me being real in my sewing room. So I hope you'll forgive that. Sorry. Right. I think we definitely need a little creative flow. So wherever you are, stand or sit comfortably with your feet firmly on the ground, evenly spaced, yeah? Or roughly. Right, let's close our eyes. I need to close my eyes and shut out the world a little bit today. Take a few deep breaths so that you can settle into your space, let your body settle into your space. Breathe all the way in. Make sure you push your stomach out with your diaphragm so it can start to relax. Let go of everything that doesn't concern you right now. And start to check in with your body. Start at the top of your head. And you know what? Let's start at the bottom of your feet today. Let's go the reverse. Let's do something different. Start at the bottom of your feet. And wiggle your toes. Check in with your toes. See if they're relaxed. Give them a bit of a wiggle. And your feet, give them a stretch. I put my weight on my heels. And stretch your calves out a bit. Move all the way up to your shins and your calves. Up to your knees, noticing where you feel any tension or pain. Wiggle, give it a wiggle or a stretch. Notice, really check in with your body. Notice your body. Notice your thighs, and if they're feeling tense, just sort of wiggle them around and relax them. Up to your stomach. Oh, I have a habit of holding in my stomach to try to protect my back with the old pelvic exercises, but relax that stomach for a minute and let it go. Move on to your back and your all the way up your body to your shoulders, and then you can feel your arms connected to your shoulders and the tops of your arms and your hands. Those really probably need a little bit of moving around and relaxing. Up to your neck, and that's where I hold a lot of my tension, so give your neck a shake. And as you get up to your head, make sure your jaw is relaxed. Don't be clenching your jaw. Take a few more deep breaths and bring your focus inside to the space inside behind your eyes, between your eyes. A few more deep breaths. Now, as we go about with our making, we're just going to keep that stillness, hold that stillness, and keep focus on the task that we're doing. And if your thoughts drift away to something else you need to do, or anything just pops into your head, just gently release it and let it go and turn your focus back to what you're doing with your project. So I'm going to turn the timer on and I'll see you in 20 minutes. So that's the 20 minutes for today. It always goes so quickly, and I'm always surprised when the alarm goes off. Today, because this quilt is, I moved on to the right side of the quilt where all the wavy lines are. I spent my whole time just trying to rip out. I can't rip out all of the lines because it's the basting threads have already been taken out. So if I ripped out all the lines, I'd have to rebase the whole thing, and I'm not going to do that. So I might have to change my usual method of working with the different colors tomorrow. But I'm nearly done. I have about 5 more lines I'm ripping it part way, and I'll hopefully be able to start stitching the first lines tomorrow. So I hope you found this as productive and relaxing and just a good start to your day as I do. And I hope you're enjoying it. And I will see you again tomorrow morning.